Good morning and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. I hope everyone is doing well on this Thursday morning. We're back with another massive show to bring you guys today. But before we jump into that, if you do enjoy today's video, please don't forget to give the video a like. It really helps to bring more people into the channel. And if you are new, please do subscribe as well. It doesn't cost any money. Get involved in the show. On today's show, we're going to be talking about a potential loan to buy deal for Donyll Mallen of Borussia Dortmund. We'll also be talking a little bit about a potential swap deal for Pellistri and a Sporting Lisbon player, which this story's kind of just broken the last 10 or so minutes. So, yeah, it's always quite exciting when we're about to go live and then a big story breaks. So we'll be talking about that potential swap deal for Pellistri. Obviously, today is the day that Jadon Sancho completes his medical and confirms his move to Dortmund. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I won't try and focus on that for too long because I know everybody's sick to death of Jadon Sancho and sick to death of talking about it. So I'll try and, move past that one quickly. Some other bits as well about a centre-back that we're linked to again, and it's not to Debo. Quite a lot going on at Manchester United at the moment. You know what it's like in the transfer window. There's so many stories, so many news articles, so much to digest and so much to try and just work out whether there's actually any truth in it. So as always, we will try and do that on today's video. And I do invite you to get in the comment section today. Let me know your thoughts on everything we discuss in today's video. I'll try and make it as interactive as possible and, give you pointers to ask questions and stuff. But without further ado, let's get straight on into it. So let's start off really, really quickly with Jadon Sancho. So we can confirm that Jadon has now landed at the Dortmund training camp and is about to complete his medical and will then probably be announced as an official Dortmund player later on today. Now, the only thing I'm going to say about this is I'm not going to focus on it for too long is I just think that Jadon doesn't help himself. So ever since the issue on social media with Erik ten Hag, right, he's been off social media. He disabled his Instagram. Within 10 minutes of Fabrizio Romano announcing that he was moving to Dortmund, his Instagram was back and his profile picture was changed to a picture of him in a Dortmund shirt. I mean, it's just a little bit childish, isn't it? Now, I know some people might say, oh, I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. But for him to disable his Instagram, right? Which, being completely honest, is a massive FU to Manchester United, because the reason why United pay these ridiculous amounts of money to these players is not just because of their footballing capabilities. It's because of their social media. It's because of their brand. It's because of their presence. And Jadon Sancho has made it perfectly clear that by disabling his Instagram, not posting anything about the games. You always see Casemiro. Obviously, it's not Casemiro. It'll be somebody who works for him. But you always see Casemiro posting graphics saying can't wait for the game today and all of this stuff that's probably been asked of them to do by the club. Jadon disables his Instagram. It's been disabled for 3 or 4 months. And as I said, within 5 to 10 minutes of Fabrizio saying, here we go to Dortmund, his Instagram's back open again and he's got a picture of him wearing as his profile picture's him in a Dortmund shirt. It's just, I think it's childish and I think it just kind of shows the character that he is. And I'll be honest, I don't miss him at all already. I think we've made do without him, and I think in the summer we need to make sure that he goes. But let's not stop talking about Jadon Sancho. Of course, let me know in the comment section, guys. Do you think what I'm saying is not really much of something to talk about, or do you agree that you think it's childish from Jadon to be acting like this? But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Mallen, because I know that he's a player that some people are wanting, some people aren't wanting. I think he's really, really. He's a player that's brought mixed opinions amongst the fan base, I think. 24 years of age, obviously currently at Dortmund, Dutch international, another player who is from the same agency as Erik ten Hag, I believe. One of the big Dutch agencies. They've got Rasmus Højlund, they've got Mallen, they've got quite a few of Erik ten Hag's signings are from this same agency. Now, I know in the summer, some people were saying we need to stop signing people from Erik ten Hag's agency. It's a little bit strange. But I don't know. I don't really buy into that too much. I think it makes it easier for Manchester United to sign players if they've got an existing relationship, with a certain agency. So yeah, we know that Mallen is with the same agent as Erik ten Hag, also the same agent as Rasmus Højlund. And the headline this morning is that Manchester United are trying to, or progressing even, for a loan to buy deal for Donyll Mallen. And you know what? When I look at his stats, it's pretty hard for me to disagree with signing him. This season, he's got 5 goals in 15 matches in the Bundesliga. That's pretty good, I think. It's a goal every 3 games in the Bundesliga. He also got a goal and 2 assists in the German Cup. So across the whole season, he's got about 8 goals and assists in about 20 matches, which isn't bad at all, because when you actually look at his stats, a lot of the time he's coming off the bench. So he's only actually played about the equivalent of 11 whole football matches this season for Dortmund, and he's got 8 goals and assists in 11 games. If you look at it like that, it's pretty good. I think it's decent. Obviously, he was at PSV, moved to Dortmund in 2021 for a fee of around 30 million euros. I would say that if we're going to sign anybody, it will be Mallen. Obviously, we know we've got a good relationship with Dortmund because of the Sancho deal. I think he'd be a good signing. I do. I think he would massively help our attacking line. Is he my dream signing? No, but he is somebody who can obviously play, is a right winger. That's his primary position, but he can also operate as a centre forward and he can operate as a left winger. So when you break it down like that, there's no reason not to sign this guy. Dutch international. He's got goals and assists in the Bundesliga. Antony hasn't got a single goal or assist in any competition this season. We need somebody to come in and really, really, compete with Antony. Now, I know people could argue, oh, well, we've got Pellistri, we've got Amad Diallo, but we'll be talking about Pellistri. It looks like Pellistri could be going. So I can see why this story has come. But let me know what you guys think. Do you want Donyll Mallen? Let me know in the comment section. It would be a loan to buy deal. I think it makes sense because you never know, right? In the summer, Borussia Dortmund might say we want to sign Jadon Sancho on a permanent deal. And if that happens and Mallen's done well at United, then it makes it a lot more easy, doesn't it? So let me know what you guys think. I would probably say yes, we should go and get this deal done. I see no reason to not do it personally. But if you disagree, let me know. Maybe you don't think he's good enough. Maybe you think that we should be looking at someone else. But the exact story is this. It says that Manchester United are now looking at a potential loan deal featuring the option to buy for Borussia Dortmund forward Donyll Mallen. The Dutch forward has been linked with a move to Old Trafford in the last few weeks amid United's plans to add to their attacking ranks this month. The report states that discussions have already happened at Old Trafford about the possibility of signing the former PSV Eindhoven man. There you go. So I'll obviously keep you updated on that one. Loan to buy would be the deal. As soon as we get more news, I will bring that to you as always. Everyone who's just joined in the last couple of minutes, please do smash a like on the video. We've set a target of 200 likes for today's video. So if everybody likes it now, we should hit that target immediately. So please do smash a like quickly. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe as well. Right, let's talk a little bit about this Pellistri shock swap deal then, because this story, as I said, has broken this morning via the Manchester Evening News. And the headline is that Manchester United are looking to use Pellistri in swap deal for, where's it gone? Here it is. For Sporting Lisbon player Morten Hujmeland. He's Danish. I'm trying to pronounce his name. Morten Hujmeland. Let's go with that. Morten Hujmeland. I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of him until about an hour ago. He's a centre defensive midfielder, 24 years of age. I'll be honest with you, I watched a couple of videos before I went live. I did a bit of, looking on stats websites and stuff. I don't really think this guy looks very good. I think he looks pretty average. I don't really understand this if we were to do this. So he's a CDM. Obviously, we know we need a CDM because Casemiro is going to leave at some point. He's a Danish international. He moved from the Serie A to Sporting Lisbon in the summer for a fee of around 18 million euros. I don't know. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not that excited about this. He's played about 9 games so far for Sporting Lisbon this season. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe he's going to go on to be this world-class player. But from what I've seen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know everything about football because I don't. But I literally have never heard of this guy. And I just think it's a little bit strange. Now, I believe there's obviously truth that Sporting Lisbon are interested in Pellistri because there are a number of clubs who are circling for Pellistri's signature. You've got people like PSV. PSV are really, really keen to sign Pellistri in the January window, as well as some other clubs as well. So there's definitely a genuine interest for Pellistri to move. I'm just not sure whether this loan deal, this swap deal is actually realistic. To be honest, I think I don't know where this story's come from. Be it obviously, well, I can see where it's come from. It's on the Manchester Evening News, but it's just completely caught me by surprise. We know that Pellistri's attracting interest from lots of different clubs around Europe. We know that Pellistri wants more game time. We know that probably Pellistri needs to be sold because he's not going to get picked at United for whatever reason. And he's one of those players who, is an asset, who's worth money. And at the moment, we need to sell players because we're absolutely in the mud in a financial situation, aren't we? So, I'm not really that convinced by this one. Off the back of that as well, the headline coming out this morning is that Man United are apparently looking to sign Jonathan David, obviously the Canadian striker who plays for Lille in the French league in the summer. I don't know, to be honest, with Jonathan David. I think he's a decent player. Is he world class? I'm not too sure. Manchester Evening News are running with the story that apparently United are, really interested in signing him. You've got 2 or 3 other different websites this morning saying that apparently he's available for around 45 million euros. I mean, for 45 million euros, I probably would sign him, to be honest. I think that's a pretty good price, I know a couple of seasons ago he was linked to Arsenal and Lille were asking for about £80 million for him, which is absolutely crazy. Now, the key bit of detail with Jonathan David is he only has a year left of his contract. Now, is this his agent trying to get more money? That's a strong possibility, isn't it? Maybe he's trying to get a new contract. He's been okay this season, but he's not been great. He's only got 5 goals in 17 matches in the French league, which for me is not an incredible return, I don't think. When you compare that to the likes of the Kylian Mbappe's and those types. Last season he got 24 goals in 37 matches. Which, I mean that's good, but it is the French league, and the French league is not really that competitive in my opinion. And then the season before that, he only got 15 goals in 38 matches. So he averages roughly a goal or an assist every other game. That's kind of his, but that is in the French league. So for me, I'm not sure if Jonathan David would be the number one option for me personally, but let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see Jonathan David at Manchester United? £45 million is kind of what is being touted this morning for Jonathan David. I would probably say no personally. I would much rather try and sign either somebody younger, somebody a bit more up and coming, because I don't think Jonathan David is, like a world-class striker for me personally. I don't think he is. He's not on the level of a Harry Kane or a Victor Osimhen or someone of that kind of caliber. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Obviously, this story is one that's kind of only just broken in the last 24 hours. Jonathan David to Manchester United, yes or no? Let me know what you guys think. He will definitely be leaving the club in the summer at this rate because he's, as I said, his deal runs out in 1 year from now. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Jonathan David. Somebody says Højlund only had 7 goals in the Serie A. Yeah, I mean, when you look at it like that, it's pretty hard to argue against Jonathan David, but just because we spent 60 million on Højlund, does that mean we need to then go and spend 50, 60 million or whatever it is Lille want on another player who's, let's be honest, not world class at this moment? I mean, Jonathan David is only 23 years of age. He is still very, very young. I definitely think he has potential to go on and be a very, very good player. But is he world class? I don't think he is personally, but that's just my opinion. Obviously, your opinion might be different. You might think he is world class. You might say, you know what? I think he'd be a great signing. I think he'd come into the team. I think he'd completely transform. I mean, he's a young player, when you look at it like that. He is very, very young. I can't imagine him wanting crazy wages. He's only on about 40k a week at Lille at the moment. So when you look at it like that, maybe it is a good deal to go and get done, because the kind of names that I would be looking at are people like Victor Osimhen, but that's going to cost you 150 million euros, which is ridiculous. Let's be honest. If I said to you, you could get Jonathan David for about 45 million pounds and then sign another 2 or 3 players as well versus Victor Osimhen for 150, you probably would go with the Jonathan David plus 3 or 4 others, wouldn't you? Because we know that at this point, we probably need as many as 10 players in this squad. We need probably 1 or 2 centre-backs, a couple of midfielders, probably a right winger, a left winger, a striker, a number 10, maybe a right back, maybe a left back, maybe a goalkeeper. Like, you could even argue that we need a whole new starting 11, bar minus one or two players. Like, are Manchester United going to be in a position to spend crazy money on someone like Victor Osimhen? I don't think so, personally. And I think that maybe these are the types of names that we have to go for, you know, the Jonathan Davids of the world, who are still very, very good players. Don't get me wrong. You know, they're still decent players. But is he in that world-class category? I don't think so yet. Scott says there's a lot of hype around Jonathan David. There's a lot of hype around Jonathan David. I think he might work. Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. Somebody says, I would surely give Pellistri for Højlund. In right wing position, we have too many options, and maybe Mallen comes too. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with this Pellistri one. I think Pellistri will leave this window. I again, at the moment, it's all speculation as to where Pellistri might end up, but I would say I'm pretty sure that Pellistri's going to go, because obviously Hannibal is going to go to either Sevilla or Everton with a buy clause as well. So Hannibal's gone effectively. Manchester United are having to move on these youngsters. It has to happen. It's frustrating, but there's nothing else we can really do because we don't have the money to go and buy or to even do loan deals at the moment. So they're desperate to raise funds, and the only way of raising funds is to get rid of the likes of Pellistri, the likes of Hannibal, and it's frustrating. It's sad, but it's just where we are. Let's have a look what else is going on in the chat. Fran says, an expensive world-class striker would be worth it to Manchester United at the moment. I still believe we have potential in our midfield. Omar says, I think Ahmad has more potential than Pellistri. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I think Ahmad is a lot more developed than Pellistri. Onika says, would you rather go for Elise or Jonathan David? I'd probably go with Elise, to be honest, if I had to pick between the two. If they were both the same amount of money, I think Elise's already doing it in the Premier League. I think Elise excites me a little bit more than Jonathan David. I don't know whether that's just because obviously I watch the Premier League more. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I think Elise would be a quality signing. I mean, he's got this season from the wing position, he's got 5 goals and 1 assist in 9 games, Elise. Like, that is really, really good for a winger. When you think that Anthony's played over 20 games this season and hasn't got a single goal or assist, and you've got Elise playing for a much lesser team in the same position, and he's got 5 goals and 1 assist. And I mean, if you look at his stats from last season, he was quality as well. So I would probably go with Elise if it was an option between the two of them. But then, arguably, let's play devil's advocate here, all right? You know, there's some people in the chat who would say, let's go and sign Victor Osimhen. Let's throw the 150 million euros at them. What if I was to say to you that we could sign Elise, Jonathan David, and a centre midfielder for the same price as what Osimhen would cost you? What would you prefer to do? I mean, when I break it down like that, Elise, I think his release clause is about £50 million. Jonathan David, apparently they want about 45 million. And then you could go and spend £55 million on a midfielder. Probably the guy from Benfica. Is it Neves? Well, I can't remember what his name is. My brain's gone. The midfielder from Benfica that we've been linked to. If I was to tell you that we could do that, like João Neves from Benfica, like João Neves, Jonathan David, and Michael Elise for the same price as Victor Osimhen, I'm definitely doing that. That would be quality. And that's, all of them are about 20 to 22 years of age. And that's your team then sorted for the next kind of 2 to 3 years. So, yeah. Franco says, what is your thoughts on Isaac Hansen Aaron refusing to sign an extension contract due to no first team opportunities? Yeah, I think it's sad, to be honest, mate. I think, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't watch the youth team every single week, but I do try and watch as many of the youth games as possible. But, from what I've seen of Hansen Aaron, he looks like probably our best youth player who's coming through at the moment. Obviously, Kobe Mainoo's already in the first team. Hannibal's already played in the first team. Pellistri's already played in the first team. Of that kind of players who've not yet made their debut in the first team, I think he does look like one of the best, to be completely honest with you. And to be honest with you guys, it does look like he's going to be leaving. It looks like he's going to go because apparently United's contract offer is nowhere near the amount of money that he's being offered from other clubs. Ajax are interested in him. And you know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I'm going to take off my red tinted glasses. If I was this guy and I saw Anthony getting picked every week and I saw my route to the first team looking like pretty much impossible, and then I get offered a rubbish contract extension, I would say, screw you, I'm going to Ajax, because he'll go to Ajax, he'll get in the first team, and then in 2 or 3 years, United will probably try and buy him for 100 million because we're stupid. So as much as it kills me to say this, he's probably ruining his career being at Manchester United at the moment, because I don't see when he's going to get an opportunity to play. His opportunity was against Wigan, a bottom of the table League One side, and Erik ten Hag didn't play him and you know what, right? I don't actually blame Erik ten Hag for this at all, because I think the amount of pressure that's on Erik ten Hag's head, like if I was Erik ten Hag, I'm 100% picking my best team for every single game now going forward. I'm not giving any of the youth players a chance, because like if he was to lose to Wigan, he'd probably get sacked. If we get battered by Tottenham on Sunday, he could get sacked. Like, he's on very, very thin ice, Erik ten Hag, and I think that as frustrating as it is, as much as we want to bring through these new youth players, I just think that Erik ten Hag's on thin ice, and he's in a very precarious situation. But I'm going to wrap the video up there, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined me on the show this morning. Please do make sure to smash a like on the video before you go. Let's try and hit 200 likes on today's video. And we are also very, very close to 21,300 subscribers. So if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe. Doesn't cost any money. Live every single day at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. UK time. This has been Daily Red Devil. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all later.